What is the black fatigue? Let's just call a spade, okay? I don't care if you're white, Spanish, Asian. I think everybody who is a part of civilized America, okay? We are all sick and tired, sick to death of the ratchet, the ghetto, the crime. We're over it, okay? And I've had it up to here myself. You guys know I have an obsession with the ratchet, with the woke, and I'm just sick and tired of it. And I'm not the only person. I've said that a multitude of times on this podcast. Other Black Americans who, again, are civilized have been saying the same thing. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Just diving deep into what is the black fatigue? What's the debate going on here? When I heard it, I laughed. So that's what we're going to talk about. Welcome to another episode of Archie's Briefings. I'm your host, Arshel Branch. If you guys love to support the show, you can cash at me at #Arshel Branch. You can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so that way you never miss an episode. Share this video, like this video, because this is going to be a good one, you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into what is the black fatigue. Let's go ahead and let's do that, shall we?
There is something that has been on my heart that I did want to discuss. Discipline is a huge part of being productive, being lucrative. I'm not for anything that goes against true productivity, true sovereignty of the individual. The choices that we make are what's going to be up for judgment.
All right, you guys. So as I said in the open, we are going to be talking about the black fatigue. What is it? There seems to be a debate going on. I've heard Black Americans on YouTube and other places say that the black fatigue is just a racist phrase. It's a racist term. I've heard other Black Americans use it in the way that I use it, right? It just means we're sick and tired of the ratchet, the ghetto, the crime, the defending of said behavior. Why do we call it black fatigue and not ghetto fatigue and all the rest of it? I'm going to show you guys a series of clips. Some of them you've already seen, but it is necessary to bring them up. And I am going to bring up a couple of other videos of people saying what it is and why they have it. That way you don't just get my reaction. Like, I'm not the only civilized black American or black Hispanic American saying that this is a problem. We've had it up to here. I'm not the only one who's tired of this. So let's just go ahead and let's start with some of these clips. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is just how we got here. Like, why do we have the fatigue? Before I get into the definition of the word, let's just show what we mean when we say this is the behavior that we are sick and tired of. Let's go ahead and let's start with those clips first, shall we? Now, you guys remember this one? The Lululemon Atlanta incident. Let's just play just a couple of seconds, okay? Just a few seconds. Okay. Let's call that Exhibit A. Let's move on to the next clip, okay? Exhibit B. You guys remember the Rhode Island senator, you know, from a few years ago? I think it was about 2 years ago, the twerk for votes. Let's go ahead. Let's run it. I mean,
vote Senator Mack.
Exhibit B. Now I'm going to play the last one for you guys. Last one, I promise. This is the last one. Let me go ahead and let's run the next one, shall we? And last and certainly not least, let's talk about Jasmine Crockett. Exhibit C.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right. Yeah.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not.
So, Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. We have the twerking event at Lululemon, the incident at Atlanta, Lululemon. You have the twerking for votes, okay, with the politician, twerking for votes. And of course, the gift that keeps on giving, okay, Jasmine Crockett. People. And they wonder why we are sick to death of this. You have Black Americans who celebrate this woman, who didn't find an issue with the senator running, using, twerking for votes. No, they didn't find an issue with that. They came out and they defended her. They defend Jasmine Crockett. They're defending Carmelo Anthony. They're defending the father who murdered the sheriff, okay? I think his name is, Rodney Hilton, okay? So we have out here Black Americans defending criminals, defending thoughthood, defending promiscuity, and they wonder why Black Americans, Black Hispanics, or minorities, period, are just sick to death of the behavior. Why do we have black fatigue? Because we're tired of trying to defend you. We're tired of having to say why not all Black Americans are the same. We're tired of every single time you go out of the country, they see a Black woman, they assume you're a sexy red. They assume that you're a trollop, that when they look at Black men, that they assume that they are criminals, because that is what's popular. That is what is exported overseas. When they come to the United States, they see Black people, they think we are criminals, and they think that we are thoughts. And we're tired of defending it, tired of trying to separate ourselves, just sick and tired of it. Okay, so as I said, I was going to go into showing you some of the videos, the TikTok videos of Black Americans like myself who are saying why they have Black fatigue, what it actually is. And before I go ahead and do that, I showed you all of those videos, right? I showed you the incident at Lululemon. I showed you Tiara. Her last name is escaping me, but Senator Tiara, who's still there, is ridiculous. She's still there. She's still a senator for Rhode Island District 6. She's still in that position, twerking for votes. Jasmine Crockett, her language, she cusses up a storm. This woman is defended because, hey, she's ratchet. And I'm still not convinced, you guys. I know you guys get in the comments and you tell me that she's pretending to be this way. I don't think she's pretending, or maybe she's pretending so long that this is who she is. I don't think that this is a gimmick anymore. I think this woman is genuinely ratchet, genuinely ghetto. And we assume that if you're not coming out of the hood, but you grow up in the suburbs, that you can't be ratchet. No, it's not so much about your environment, right, as you grow up. It's not even so much about that as it is if you're surrounded by Black Americans who have these values, then this is how you're going to come out into society, okay? That you're acting Black if you speak Ebonics. You're acting Black if you act like a thought. You're acting Black if you celebrate and defend criminality. What difference does it make if I twerk or not? That determines if I'm Black. The behavior says this is what it means to be Black. And Black Americans or Black Hispanics like myself are saying being Black has nothing to do with behavior. It has everything to do with lineage, ancestry. But according to these lefties, these modern feminists, these Black wokesters, you are not Black if you don't speak a certain way or act a certain way. And that's exactly what you're getting from those who are suffering from Black fatigue, like myself. Let's go ahead and let's show you some of the videos where you have individuals saying this is what it is, and this is why Black Americans, civilized individuals, not even just Black Americans, but civilized Americans have Black fatigue. Let's go ahead and let's run those next clips for you, shall we? Okay, guys, so this is just one of many videos I'm going to show you. Let's just go ahead and let's run it, shall we?
This video might make you uncomfortable, but it needs to be made. There's a growing sentiment, most recently, of individuals who are proclaiming they do have Black fatigue. And you don't have to be a non-Black person to have Black fatigue. What does that phrase actually mean? Essentially, Black fatigue is a growing weariness of the actions of the quote unquote Black community. But it goes deeper than that, because we are in 2025 now, and we are being judged based on the content of our character and not the color of our skin.
Yep.
But the interesting part is, the lie that's been sold to the Black community in particular is that the color of our skin dictates the content of our character. That's why in the Black community, sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, you are acting white, when they're talking to someone like myself who doesn't act the way most people would expect a conventional Black person to act.
Okay, that's enough of this gentleman. But what did he just say? That if you speak proper English, if you carry yourself like a lady or a gentleman, then you are acting white. We associate, okay, respectable, modest, honorable behaviors, okay, with whiteness. And that if you choose to engage like a civilized individual in the rest of society, then you are not Black. This is why Larry Elder was an Uncle Tom, why Ben Carson was an Uncle Tom, why I was the Oreo. Frankly, proud of it. And if they were smart, they would know Uncle Tom was the hero. If you really wanted to insult me, you would have called me Sambo. Only shows the ignorance. Okay, I'm going to come out of this gentleman's video. I'm going to play another one. That one was absolutely hilarious. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play the next video for you guys. Let's go ahead and let's do that, shall we? This is the other video I wanted to show you guys. This gentleman was right and hilarious. Let's run it, shall we?
There's an interesting phrase going around these days. It's called Black fatigue. When I heard that shit, I started laughing because I've been had Black fatigue. Nigga fatigue. I love Black people. See, it's the difference between niggas and Black people. You understand? And what it should be called is nigga fatigue, because even Black people have nigga fatigue. You understand? The ghetto ratchet bullshit, all the ignorant stuff that these people stand for,
Yo.
all the ignorant stuff that these people defend,
Yep.
all the weird shit that these people say, all the victimization and acceptance of the bigotry of low expectations and all the Stockholm syndrome and all that shit like that,
Yep.
all the random acts of violence that people want to ignore because it's black on black, which they also want to ignore and just say it's proximity crime, but no, it's black on black crime. It's an epidemic. Black fatigue is some real shit, and y'all are getting what the fuck y'all wanted to get when y'all wanted to perpetuate racism, because nobody in America is perpetuating racism but black people.
I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, yo. Yep. He says that we shouldn't call it black fatigue. We should call it the N-word fatigue. Remember, I told you guys in the previous episode, we were talking about E. Franklin Frazier's The Black Bourgeoisie. Okay. We know where the value comes from, that this is the behavior. Okay. He calls it the Negro class. Okay. This is what this gentleman is saying. We have the fatigue of the Negro class. That if you're going to celebrate criminality, that if you're going to celebrate thoughthood, that if you're going to celebrate this kind of behavior, I'm done. I'm over it. It's not like it's just white folk who are saying this. And I remember watching that Pierce Morgan debate, and it was the debate that Mark Lamont was on. And the white woman who said that she thinks that there should be white unity. I don't even think it should be unity just among white folk. I think every civilized demographic, okay, every civilized American should come together and say, this is un-American. This is not who we are. This is not Western culture. That everybody who is against Hodom, who is against thoughthood, who is against criminality, celebrating it, who can say, yeah, Jay-Z sold drugs to his mother. I don't like this. That as great as people think Tupac was, he's no Langston Hughes. Understand, huge difference between the civil rights era black and the hip hop culture black. Huge difference, okay? Hip hop brought us ghetto, brought us ratchet, okay? Brought us thoughthood and Hodom. That's what hip hop brought us. The civil rights era, however, gave us well-informed, well-spoken ladies and gentlemen, okay? You're Martin Luther Kings, okay? You're Malcolm X types, right? I'm more of a civil rights kind of a black lady, right? That's like how I carry myself, right? I like to wear nice clothing. I like to be modest. I speak proper English. I excuse my language when I cuss here and in front of my mother. It's just you cannot use that kind of language and not excuse your language. That's called self-respect, respective elders, right? You watch your mouth. They don't do that. Again, you have your Crockett's. You have your Senator Tiaras twerking for votes, okay? Twerking for votes. The incident at Lululemon, and people come out and defend this. Oh, do you boo? Do you boo? Looking at Carmelo Anthony, who murders a young man at a track meet. Rodney Hilton, who murders a police officer to avenge his son. He gets defended. Black America pulls out their wallets, sends them money, defending this type of behavior. And there's something wrong with the Uncle Toms of the world saying, yeah, no, we're done. Black folk are sick of it. Okay, every other week there's a story about a black person and a white person. Every other week you have one of these social justice warriors saying why they've been oppressed. No, like the older gentleman, the other gentleman I showed you earlier, talking about what black fatigue really is, right? What did he say? That they are associating certain behaviors and characteristics with blackness, that's why it's called the black fatigue. Why he's saying it should be called the N-word fatigue, the Negro fatigue. Call it what you will. This is how we feel. We are sick to death of it. I'm not the only one. I think this is a start. The black fatigue, I think, is really just going to bring us closer to seeing an awakening among Black America. You've already seen it among Black men. As you saw the videos I showed you, Black men saying they're over it. They don't like it. They don't want this. This is why you saw Black men voting for Donald Trump in this last election. You saw that, an increase of Black men voting. Black women, Black American women, Black minorities, hybrid children, hybrid people like myself voting Republican because they want something more. They want the best, and they're not getting that. Remember, Kamala Harris had Megan Thee Stallion twerking at a campaign rally. This is how they're going to attract us. This is what they think. And there's something wrong with us, civilized Americans, if we say we're sick to death of it. I'm going to come out of this video, you guys. You will never see yours truly twerking. There is a reason for that. Now, do what you want when you go to the nightclubs. But understand, if you're going to act ratchet, if you're going to act ghetto, if you're going to look like a thug, if you're going to look like a thought, expect civilized Americans to treat you as such, okay? If you want to associate bad behavior with your blackness, do what you will. We're going to call it the black fatigue, okay? Call it Negro fatigue. I don't really care. I'm not getting into the semantics of it. We know what we mean. We know what it means. We're tired of the ghetto. We're tired of the ratchet. We're tired of the savagery. And this is not just true for white Americans, okay? Because as I showed you only black people saying this is a problem. I'm saying it. Those black men were saying it. You're going to see a rise in this. Notice it's a bunch of black women out here saying that this is not what it should be called. It should be called something else. They want to debate over semantics rather than get to the content of the actual story itself. Why do people have this? Because you're loud, because you're condescending, because you're patronizing, because you're modern feminist, because you're an independent black woman, because you're loud, because you celebrate criminality, thughood, thoughthood, and then have the nerve to say we have no right to judge. Are you kidding me? You're being judged off your actions, okay? You'll be the nicest person in the world, but look like a thought and a criminal. And then you're mad when the people at Walmart are following you around. You look like a criminal. What did you expect? What did you expect? You're going to walk out the house wearing a hair bonnet and then wonder why people are looking at you like you're a bum. You walked out the house wearing a hair bonnet, okay? You look like you got no sense. You look like you have nothing going for you. This is the problem. We don't even care about how we look anymore. We don't even try. We don't care. We don't think that behaving like civilized human beings in America is necessary. Because if you are, then you are acting white. It is the black community that has decided that decency and morality are associated with whiteness. That proper English, as proper as one can be, is associated with whiteness. And so I'm an Oreo because I speak as properly as I can. I have my missteps. I have my verbal buffers. Then because I like to dress like a lady, I'm an Oreo. Well, hey, you're the ones who said if I don't speak the lingo, I'm not black. And then you're mad when we call it the black fatigue. Please take your Afrocentric black woke nonsense to someplace else, okay? We're going to call it Woketopia. You're not allowed in American society. If you can't act proper, don't come into the store. If you can't dress like a lady, don't come into the store. Don't go into the restaurant. If you can't sit and behave, don't go into the places. You will not be welcome into civilized America. And then, frankly, that's what I think we should head towards. I think civilized Americans should get together and say, I'm kicking you out. I'm kicking you out. You're not welcome here. If you can't act right, if you can't dress right, you shouldn't be here. Leave. Go back to the hood with that nonsense, because I'm sure while dodging bullets, of course, they will be more than happy to have you. You guys in the comment sections, let me know. Are you like the white Americans out here and feeling black fatigue? Because I certainly have it. I have my obsessions. But I certainly have black fatigue. I think you guys in the comments, you're probably going to say the same thing. We're sick and tired of it, okay? I'm tired of always pointing out the fact that black folk want to come out and defend criminals. This is kind of sickening. Like, how many times are we going to keep saying this? It's the same thing over and over again. You're being judged for your bad behavior, okay? That's what's happening, and I think that's the case. You guys get in the comments. Let me know what you think about what's going on, and if you have the same fatigue, because, it's both funny and so true, and that's probably why it's funny. It's funny because it's true. Get in the comments, okay? Definitely do that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so that way you never miss an episode, and you guys can support the show by Cash Apping me at #RShellBranch. The best way to deal, okay? The diagnosis, but the treatment to dealing with your black fatigue. Sign up to Hulu and watch The Golden Girls. I think that's the best way to deal with it. Just watch the funniest white women ever in history. I think that's the best way to do it. You want to deal with your black fatigue? Go watch The Golden Girls. That's what I intend to do. Or read a good book. That's a good way to go about it. Thank you all for watching. You guys have a good night. God bless. I love you so much. And Kepla.